So, unless you've been living under a rock, you'll obviously know things are kicking off pretty bad in the Middle East at the moment with the US Israel versus Iran conflict. Now, I know if I were a serious channel, I'd discuss the geopolitics of it, how many countries it's affecting, and toll on human rights and stuff, but this is a Formula One channel, and we talk about Formula One. Given the conflict in the Middle East, F1 has sort of gambled itself and left itself vulnerable, having 4 races there this season. Bahrain and Abu Dhabi have, of course, been long-term fixtures in the calendar, while Saudi Arabia and Qatar were added in 2021 as F1 expanded the calendar to 24 races. The addition of those races, of course, was large down to them being petrostates with big money coughing it up to F1 in return effectively for those races being pretty poorly attended. Now, petrostates in the Middle East coughing up money for Formula 1 races is a video for another day. But despite the instability in the region in general, this is the most unstable region in the world, F1 has usually run those races without disruption, the only time being in 2011 when the Arab Spring Rising caused the Bahrain Grand Prix to be cancelled. Those 4 countries you might think would be low risk, being wealthy petrostates, most of whom have Western backing, or in the case of Qatar are neutral, but of course being Western backed rich petrostates makes you a target as well. Saudi Arabia is the most at risk of going to war, and of course we saw the 2022 Grand Prix saw disruption from a Houthi missile struck nearby an oil facility which was visible from the track in Jeddah, and of course Saudi Arabia is going to be heavily involved in this conflict now. Bahrain is a tiny island state, which F1 has relied very heavily on for testing and Grand Prix over the years, but it has been attacked this week due to the fact that it is home to a US Navy base and its rich oil reserves as well make it a target. The UAE, of course, again, usually one of the more the safer countries in the region. There was drone attacks in Dubai and Abu Dhabi by Iran, and so this shows this race could be vulnerable as well. And Qatar has had many drone attacks this week by Iran, and it was in the unique position of also being attacked by Israel last year. That supposedly was by accident, apparently. But in terms of the 4 Grand Prix, Qatar and Abu Dhabi aren't hosting to the end of the season, so who knows what happens by then. In a month's time, we have Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. I think F1's got to consider cancelling those already. I mean, the war is kicking off pretty badly right now. I'd have no idea whether the F1 will have time to replace them. I would suggest, given that there has been chaos caused in global travel, if those Grand Prix cannot go ahead, it is likely they won't not be replaced. I know Imola might be there or whoever, but clearly if the Bahrain Grand Prix was held this week, it would be cancelled. And of course, there were F1 teams disrupted by chaos in Bahrain that were still there from the preseason test. And of course, the Australian Grand Prix has been even at risk due to the fact it affects everything on global travel. Looks like it's going to go ahead. But F1 is playing a bit of a risky game, of course, having 4 Grand Prix in the most geopolitically unstable region in the world. Now, there's something wrong with me when I see these awful headlines, and the first thing I think of is Formula 1. But we'll see what happens. I think there's going to be a Grand Prix cancelled. This conflict is getting pretty bad.